In what many are calling the most explosive political statement of his presidency, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa allegedly unleashed a tirade that has ricocheted across international headlines, leaving diplomats scrambling and commentators stunned. According to reports surfacing from a tense closed-door discussion, Ramaphosa bluntly told the United States to back off and let us treat whites the way we want. The alleged remarks, though not officially confirmed by the presidency, have already sparked fierce debate. If true, they mark a dramatic turning point in Ramaphosa's leadership style, transforming his image from the careful, measured negotiator to a firebrand leader unafraid of challenging global superpowers. For a man who has long been criticized for being too cautious, this outburst signals a new, combative stance on how South Africa positions itself in the world. The context, insiders say, lies in ongoing U.S. pressure over land reform, minority rights, and broader concerns about South Africa's direction under ANC leadership. Washington has repeatedly voiced unease about rhetoric surrounding land expropriation without compensation and what some interpret as hostile undertones against the white minority. American officials, keen to protect investments and defend what they frame as human rights issues, have tried to weigh in. But Ramaphosa, according to accounts, lost patience and pushed back hard. This is our country. We don't need lectures, one source claims Ramaphosa said, his tone rising in defiance. America must fuck off. We will decide how to treat the people within our borders, whites included. That is our sovereign right. The fallout was immediate. U.S. State Department spokespeople reportedly expressed shock and deep concern, while South African officials have been quick to downplay the incident. Opposition parties, meanwhile, are seizing the moment. The DA accuses Ramaphosa of destroying diplomatic bridges, while the EFF is hailing him as a leader finally finding his backbone against Western imperialism. But beyond the politics lies the raw tension. South Africa remains a nation still struggling with its apartheid past, where economic inequality continues to divide black and white communities. Land ownership is at the core of this debate. The ANC has long promised radical transformation, but progress has been slow and riddled with controversy. Ramaphosa's alleged statement seems to channel deep frustrations not only within his party but also among millions of South Africans who feel promises of justice have been delayed too long. Internationally, however, the remark carries heavy risks. South Africa relies on trade agreements, foreign investments, and diplomatic goodwill. An open clash with Washington could have economic consequences, particularly if sanctions or diplomatic freezes were to follow. Analysts warn that while the rhetoric may play well domestically, it could isolate South Africa on the global stage at a time when its economy is fragile and unemployment rates remain staggering. Yet among Ramaphosa's supporters, this is seen as a moment of liberation. Finally, we have a president who speaks without fear, one ANC branch leader in Limpopo said. America has no right to tell us how to live. If they want to support us, good. If not, we will survive without them. For critics, however, the alleged statement is reckless, even dangerous. White South Africans, many of whom already feel increasingly marginalized, now find themselves in the spotlight of a fiery debate that blurs the line between justice and retribution. Whether this was a calculated act of political theater or an uncontrolled outburst, one thing is clear: Ramaphosa has rattled the international cage in a way few expected. The man once branded as a consensus builder is now being painted as a nationalist warrior willing to risk America's wrath for the sake of asserting South Africa's sovereignty. What happens next could shape not only Ramaphosa's legacy but also South Africa's global standing for years to come.